I am back in action. I've been moving, so I haven't been uploading full feature length videos, or not feature length, they're not 2 hours, but I haven't been uploading my normal longer form 10 to 20 minute videos because again, I've been moving. Moving's the worst. But in any case, I have a new palette here that I am really excited to demo for you guys. This is the Midnight palette from Beauty Bay. Look how pretty it is. So pretty. And when I look for bright colors or bright colored palettes, typically only go for purples and blues anyways. So for me, this was perfect. I'm going to do an eye look and we'll see how it turns out. All right, I zoomed in so we can get really close and up and personal with the eye look. But I'm gonna go in with this first color called Mist. It is a little powdery. And I'm just gonna go in with that as my transition. I'm gonna go really lightly because I don't know how pigmented this is. Oh, it's pretty pigmented. The more you blend, the more it kind of just disappears. There's still some of that pigment there, but it's just not as bright as when you swatch it, for instance. So let me swatch it. Yes, that's nowhere close to the same color. I feel like that color would be better packed on with your finger because it really diffuses once you start blending it out with a brush. Let's try to build it up a little bit more and see what happens. Okay, it's definitely just not the color that it is in the pan on my eye, so beware of that. I don't really have a plan. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna dip into the shades that I like and we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna go into Periwinkle now. And let's see what this does. The Periwinkle is much more pigmented and much truer on the eye. Maybe it's just that first color, Mist, that isn't. The Periwinkle is definitely more pigmented and truer to the actual color on your eye than it is in the pan. So far that's good. Let's go into a purple though. So I'm gonna take Iris. It's this bright purple color. And that's gonna go on the outer corner. Oh, wow. That's really pigmented. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that purple color is fire. It's a little bit darker on my eye. Also, it's mixing with the blue a little bit, so it's not going to be the exact color in the pan, but so far, packing it on and then diffusing the edges is really what seems to work best. I kind of just want to pack this on and then I'll deal with blending, but for now, I want to just get the color down and then kind of more so decide what I'm doing. Is this going to turn out good or a complete shit show? We will see. Now that I look like I have feathers on my eyes, I do like this color a lot. The Iris is really bright, very true to color from the pan. Obviously it's mixing with the blues a little bit, so it looks a little bit more blue on my eye just because I mixed it, but it's nice. And I haven't blended it out or anything, so I didn't lose any of the pigment yet. They did launch smaller versions of this palette. So they have a 16 pan palette and then I think a 9 one. And I did get the 16 pan one, and I will be doing a giveaway for the 16 pan palette. If you are interested in winning that, come back here on April 21st. I'm going to have a special announcement video and I will tell you how you can enter and potentially win the 16 pan palette from Beauty Bay, just the smaller version of what I'm using right now. I'm giving away that palette as a little bit of a celebration of my 1 year mark on YouTube. So it's going to be a special 2-in-1 video telling you what I've learned in my past year and giving you some tips and tricks that I picked up along the way. And then also telling you how to enter the giveaway, which will include that 16 pan palette. But let's get back to the blending and whatever else we're doing here. I don't even know. We'll see. A little bit of a smaller blending brush here, and I'm going to go into a lighter color. I'm going to go into Elixir and put that on the inner half of my eye. Okay, Elixir is also very pigmented, very bright, and honestly, they're not very powdery for being these bright kinds of shadows. I mean, that's really good pigment, and I didn't even put down a base or anything first. All I did was put down some concealer on my eyelid. I know this looks crazy right now, but I really just want to lay down the color and then I'm going to go in and actually do the blending. But these kinds of colors typically blend away when you start blending or even over blending a little bit. So I just want to lay down the color, get it insanely vibrant, and then I'll go and blend away. That one's really crazy. I feel like I'm wearing stage makeup right now. But I'm gonna go into another light color, and that is going to be Catch. And I'm going to just put that on the inner corner slash area and kind of start blending that on the upper and the lower lid. Not the lower lid, the lower lash line. Start blending out the edges all across the eye. I'm definitely gonna have to clean this up with a makeup wipe after we're done, as I've already had to do, but I feel like when you're going in with these bright colors, it's best to do that anyways, so I'm not really shocked or surprised. But that looks pretty good to me. I'm definitely gonna have to go in and blend that out. Catch is not as light as I was expecting, but that's okay. It's still lighter than that bluish tealish shade I have down, so still is accomplishing what I want it to accomplish. And just kind of smoking that all the way out. I'm gonna take a fluffy blending brush now and just go over the edges to make sure everything is nice and soft and diffused, including the inner portion of the eye. And you can see now that I'm blending, it is losing a lot of pigmentation and kind of blending together all into one color, which happens with bright colors like this. So afterwards, I'm gonna go in and probably just redefine a little bit. I'm gonna take this big brush and go back into iris because I'm losing a lot of that purple pigment on the outer corner. And even though I kind of wanna lose the pigment in certain areas, I still wanna keep the bulk of it vibrant. Now it's time for some glitter. In my opinion, it's always time for glitter, but I don't even know which one to use. I think I'm gonna go in with Bleem first, which is this really pretty periwinkle type purple color, and put that on the center of the lid. That's really pretty. This doesn't even need setting spray, although I bet that would make this insane. Let's try it. Milani Make It Last. I have hair on my finger. All right, let's see. Holy whoa. That's really pretty. But honestly, I don't even think you really need setting spray. It's really, really nice and shiny without it, so I don't even think it's necessary. Definitely a really, really pretty and vibrant color and shimmer. I want to take a brush now and go on the inner portion with an even lighter shimmer. Let's go in with Shield because that seems to be the lightest shimmer in the palette. I am going to spray my brush after I coat it with the eyeshadow and just put that on the inner area, inner corner. Okay, if you're gonna use a brush, definitely wet the brush. If you're gonna use your finger, I don't think you need to wet your finger because that's crazy pigmented. And then without dipping the brush back in, what I like to do is just kind of drag that inner corner color up so it blends into the crease. I do want to know I am getting fallout, so I would definitely use this palette before you do your base makeup and not after. I'm gonna have to redo my concealer afterwards, which is totally fine, but just want to make that note. I kind of want to see now what the purple is like if I use setting spray on a brush, so I'm gonna go back into the purple, which is Bleem, and spray my brush. And let's see. Definitely does make it more pigmented and vibrant than using your finger or even using the setting spray with your finger. In the outer corner, I'm going to use, I don't know if I want to do a shimmer or a matte. I feel like I should do a matte. All right, I'm gonna go into Voodoo and just start tapping that on the outer corner. I just got a lot of fallout over here from the Voodoo color. Again, not surprising with these bright types of colors. And on both sides, I'm just gonna ever so slightly start blending that in a little bit. Yeah, so far out of all the shades, Voodoo definitely has the most fallout. It's not horrible, but I would definitely do your eye makeup first before you go in with anything else. I have a really tiny crease brush here, and I'm just gonna go into another shimmer, because why not? I'm gonna go into Ocean, slightly connect that dark purple to the lighter purple. That's really pretty. These shimmers are really, really pretty. I'm gonna put some eye makeup remover on this dry wipe and just start cleaning everything up ever so slightly. Now I'm gonna take a really, really big fluffy brush and I'm gonna go into Foam, which is this really, really, really light blue, and just diffuse the edges all over. I'm not gonna lie, this is not my favorite look ever. I do think the palette is good. I just feel like it looks like I punched myself in the eye or something. Maybe I brought it up too high over here. There we go, that's better. I think I just brought the deep colors up too high, but now that I wiped it off with my makeup wipe, it's much better. I think that's better, and I kind of just diffused everything a little bit more, took away some of the crazy pigment. But let me go put on some concealer. Before I even blend out my concealer, I can already tell you that it's looking so much better. I think that the blue just kind of matches the blueness coming through on my under eye. I just have bluish hues, dark circles under my eyes, and it kind of like, I don't know, almost matches the top, and I think that it was making me look like I had a bruised eye. I can already tell you it's looking so much better. And I'm running really low on this concealer. I'm gonna have to get a new one. This is the Hourglass concealer, but it just allows you to get a really precise line, which I need when I'm going this vibrant. That's good. It's definitely sharp, but I like it like that. Now time for the lower lash line. I have a little lighting brush here. I'm gonna go into a color I haven't used yet. I'm gonna go in with my even smaller one and go into Midnight. And you can use water, you can use setting spray, you can use whatever you want, but if you spray it and get it wet, it'll actually really turn into a liner. So that's what I'm gonna do. And this is just gonna go super, super close to the lash line. I'm gonna go about halfway in just because this is a really dark color. Now I have a fluffier angled brush and I'm gonna go into a light color. So let's take Tranquil. I'm gonna buff out that really, really harsh midnight color. Now I'm gonna take another color and blend that out even more. So let's go back into Mist and give it another try. I don't think I like Mist. It's not translating well in the eye. So I'm just gonna take one of the brushes I used before and kind of pinch it so it's not too thick and just blend this. I do think with the purple, the more and more you blend, the more patchy it gets. It wasn't very patchy before, but now it's just kind of getting patchy over here. So I'm gonna try to cover that up a little bit. All right, and then the inner corner down here and a little bit outwards, I'm gonna put another shimmer. I'm gonna go with Sky just because it looks pretty bright and I feel like my eyes look really dark right now. All right, I don't think this is gonna get any better. So kind of want to put on more blush to balance everything out. I'm gonna go wash my hands because they have glitter and blue all over, and I will be back to do mascara and eyeliner. I meant to film that, but whoops. I did just put on my eyeliner and I went pretty thick with it just because I was hoping that would help cut the intensity of the blues a little bit. But let me do some mascara, and I'm gonna change my shirt. I feel like maybe I'm not liking it because I'm too blue, but let me put on some mascara and then I will be right back. All right, my eyes are watering, of course, but here is the finished look. So a couple things. This is not the best look I've ever done. This is not my favorite look. And I think there's a couple things at play here. So first, I don't think that these blue tones really suit my skin tone. I feel like they kind of match the bags under my eyes and is making it look a little bit like I punched myself in the eye or something. And it's just not the most flattering color on me, in my opinion. I do think though that eyeliner and mascara helped, but I still just don't love the color of the overall look. And even if I change the settings on my ring light, you can see I still just kind of look dead in the eyes. It's not my favorite look, but let me pick something that is actually tolerable. I also changed my shirt because I feel like the one I was wearing was also very bright blue and it was just too much blue. I definitely don't like the look. However, I still think that the palette is good. I feel like it blended out pretty well. And when I look in person, it's actually much better and much nicer than it is on camera. That could be because of the light. I don't really know. But again, I don't think the quality of the palette is bad. I actually think that the quality is really great. I just don't think that my eyeshadow is looking good on camera at all. I do think that it's a beautiful palette. I think there's so many pretty colors in it. I just also think that unfortunately a lot of the colors do not do me any justice. They just don't look very good on my skin tone. All right, so this is more like natural lighting. And again, In person, I don't think it's that bad. On camera though, I think that it looks pretty terrible. So I don't even know what to say. I just keep repeating the same thing over and over again because I don't think the palette is bad. I think that it's just showing up different on camera than it is in person, and it doesn't look that fantastic. So I do like the palette. I think that you might want to play around with it for a bit and wait until you really have time to play around before you wear it out or anything. Because I can tell you now, I will definitely do it different next time and I won't use so many blues. I don't think it's a bad palette. I actually think that it was really nice quality. You get a lot of different shades for a really reasonable price. Not a knock on Beauty Bay or the palette or anything. And honestly, in person, I think that this look is pretty cool. It's just on camera, the blue is really, really intense, and I don't think that it's well suited for my skin tone. All right, I just turned off the lights behind me so you can kind of see better what the eyeshadow looks like. It's not as atrocious. I think that there's a lot of factors right now contributing to me not liking my eyeshadow, and those lights were definitely one of them. But yeah, I still don't love it. It's not my favorite look ever. It does look very, very blue. But again, if you want to win the 16 pan version of this eyeshadow palette, come back to my channel and check it out on April 21st, and I will be dropping a very special video telling you how to enter the giveaway. But while you're here, you might as well subscribe and ring the bell so you know when that is actually happening. But for now, that is it for me. I'm gonna go take this eye look off probably. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.